Hello, everyone. My name is Leah Martinez, and I'm the interim project manager for the teacher preparation pipeline here at Rio Hondo College. I'm also your director for the new project Community Partnerships for Teacher Pipeline. So we're here today with Jackie and Isaac. So I invited them here today to talk about their experiences. So with that, I would like Jackie first to introduce herself, tell us about where you're from, your district, and your school.
Hi, my name's Jackie Rangel, and I'm a teacher at Whittier Union High School District at Lucerna High School. I have been there for 21 years. This is my 22nd year. I am also a PhD student at Claremont Graduate University. And yeah, I'm happy. I did my undergraduate work in Indiana, so I'm really happy to be back home in Southern California.
And Isaac, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Isaac Medrano. This is my third year now in Rio Hondo College, and this is my second semester with the program. And hopefully this is my final semester at Rio Hondo, and hoping to transfer to Cal State LA or Cal State Fullerton.
Great, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to be with us anymore in the next semester, right? Remember, you can take one year.
No, yeah, I'm still planning on taking.
Yeah.
No, I still have classes next semester.
Great. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead with our first question. And our first question is, how did you get started with CPTP, and why did you decide to join CPTP?
Well, I remember getting an email once, and I remember, well, it said something about teaching, so I'm like, oh, okay, let me check it out. Read the email, decided, you know what, let me look into it, see if I like how I feel about it in the orientation. Felt that it was really nice how they pair you up with a mentor, so I'm like, you know what, I'll decide to stay. And you know what, it was a great decision. I mean, it helped me a lot. And yeah, so it was because of an email that I got interested in the program.
And tell us, Isaac, what is your area of interest?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to major in mathematics, and my career choices would be a mathematics teacher.
Okay. And Jackie, how did you get interested in the program?
Well, we also received an email through Rio Hondo, the Community Partnership for Teacher Pipeline, asking for any mentors or anyone interested. And mentorship is part of my research. And so, of course, I jumped at the opportunity to do any kind of work in mentorship.
Wow, that's great. Research. We're going to be in your research. There's also a research component in this program as well. So you can probably connect with our researcher and maybe get some information there as well for your project. And our second question is, so walk us through how you both got connected and started working with each other.
We started with the initial meeting, just trying to figure out each other's schedule. Like, yeah, the first meeting basically covered like what we do and our schedule, so that we could figure out a plan of when we could have a Zoom meeting with each other, as well as trying to plan for already planning for like the next meeting. So it's like, okay, we're gonna meet up on this day, and we will meet up, and then by the end of the meeting, we would already decide on what day and what time that we would meet up on the next meeting. So it made it very, very easy. It was very fluid. Yeah, very easy to figure out when we're having a meeting.
And Jackie, did you guys talk about your personal goals right at the beginning?
We did. The goals for me immediately was to reduce any kind of barriers that Isaac felt he faced. And in order to do that, I had to get to know him first. It was also a goal of collaboration and something of less of a hierarchical kind of relationship. And so that way it would be like we're working side by side towards the same goal of him reducing any of those and to solve any problems of practice or learning. There was a lot of inquiry and a lot of reflection done by him, which was really great and valuable.
And how was that helpful to you, Isaac?
Yeah, it was definitely helpful, because it just it kept me engaged, definitely. it did every week that I came into a new meeting. It didn't feel like it was repetitive. It was like every time that we would have a meeting, it's like I felt like something new will come out of it, whether it's me making progress with my resume, or me making progress with job applications, or making progress as to understanding how students function or how they learn. I was always learning something new in each meeting.
And how did your mentor actually inspire you and motivate you in the field of teaching?
Well, it was definitely always setting goals, and always trying to reach those goals every time. It's like it was always something small, so it wasn't like taking this giant leap and like making me like feel stressed or anything. There's always some small goals, and then we would work on it every week. And so yeah, it definitely kept me again motivated to continue with the program, and like me enjoying the program, as well as enjoying my time with Jackie. So that's definitely what kept me engaged.
So, Jackie, how did you come up with some of those activities? Walk us through some of the activities that you guys actually did.
Sure. So everything again was based on Isaac's goals, things that he wanted to accomplish and achieve. And so we would follow, that was always the base for it. And then from there, we would do a follow-up. And to the follow-up, I would always try to vary it with different links, maybe a different little 2-minute video, resources. We would share in the chat, journaling. After I would read his reflection that he would put in for that week, so we would always have questions and reflections, that would give me more ideas of what to use for the next time. So when we talked about teachers and what it would look like, and maybe, he said middle school math teacher, I instantly got in touch with a middle school math teacher that was Latino and said, you've got to help me out on this, and let Isaac interview you and actually hear these questions and this passion from you. And so all the ideas really just transformed during the meetings and after, during the reflection and reading and going back to that. So it was very modeled to what his needs were.
Thank you. I love that it's modeled based on his needs. And I actually shared with me some of the agendas that you had for your meetings, and it was very impressive. So I immediately, shared it with our CCE partners, and it's like, these guys are amazing. We have to interview them. That's why you guys are here today.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
yeah. And then I heard that you also got a job because Jackie referred you to a job. So talk about that, Isaac. How did that happen?
So yeah, she introduced me to EdJoin, which I didn't know before this, before getting help from Jackie. So I decided to, sign up for different jobs. Some that I was able to take because I know a lot of those dealing with like substituting, you need like 48 college credits, which I currently don't have, but getting there soon. So I was just going for maybe some supervising assistant, which is the job that accepted me in the end. So yeah, I remember like getting an email from through the website EdJoin saying like, hey, we're interested in you getting the interview, and like it was a quick process of them like just accepting me, and then just me going through watching a bunch of videos that were provided to me, the background check, and yeah, it was at first I was like a bit like, I guess you could say scared, because I'm like, okay, well, this is something new that I have to, because all the other previous like job applications I've done is just like fast food or retail. So this is the first time I'm like, okay, well, I'm applying to a school and I hope it goes well. And well, it did work out in the end.
It's perfect. The next thing I want to ask you is, did you guys have any barriers that you encountered during the mentorship in terms of completing the hours, or any other barriers that might have cropped up during the spring semester?
I think for me, the biggest barrier, and I was really kind of upset at this at the beginning, was that Isaac could not come on campus.
Oh.
And so I really was looking forward to him visiting campus, maybe seeing what it's like, the students in high school. He wants that high school level, and just kind of getting a feel, or even visiting some of the male math teachers on campus. And they would not allow any visitors. So that was a big barrier. It was like, okay, how do we do this when we're on Zoom? And we've never even met in person. So that, I thought that was a barrier.
Yeah, and that was our main concern too at the beginning, because as we know, it's better for them to be able to observe you in person, right? But unfortunately, because of the situation that we're in, and it's not really up to us either, because it's really the school who decides whether they'll let someone in. So I can totally understand your frustration on that. How about you, Isaac? Was there any other barrier that you can think of?
Yeah, I guess one issue was like for some reason the Zoom link to join the classroom was also like not working, and I wanted to like, well, see how like Jackie manages the class and like how she teaches her students maybe in different manners. So that's something I definitely also felt was a barrier.
Yeah, but I bet you're probably an expert in Zoom now, right?
I definitely
We all
got
are
a
expert in Zoom now. So the next question is, what are the resources that you may want to recommend to other mentors or to other students that you have used in the past?
I think with us, we used a podcast, which I'm not sure if he really liked. If Isaac were to rank these, that might have been a good idea to see how much he enjoyed that. CPTP offered a lot of good resources that we kind of went over, or we talked about afterwards. So he would watch them, I'd watch them, and then we'd kind of discuss that a little bit. Some of the resources like EdJoin, and I used my own presentations from the PhD program on 21st Century Learner. And so I would share some of my stuff and say, okay, so this is kind of what I'm learning, and this is changing me. It's kind of changing the way I look at teaching, and you're entering it, and this would be great for these 21st century learners. And so I just kind of used a wealth of, like I said, podcasts, even different social media like that I follow. I would say, well, I kind of do this one and this one. So it was very current, I feel like.
So what are the highs and lows of this work?
Well, definitely one of the highs is it definitely allows me to have a better feel of how like teaching is. Although I still haven't fully figured it out, because I mean I'm not out there, I'm not the one teaching. It's easy to understand it by watching how Jackie goes through it. So that's definitely one of the highs. And like, well, definitely another one is that I still want to pursue this. Like I still want to pursue teaching. This definitely like enhances that. So I still want to continue that. Lows. I can't really think of a big low. I guess the only issue is just like, not being able to meet in person. But I mean, I don't think that's the real program. That's just because, of COVID. Yeah.
I was definitely watching as Isaac progressed through the time. He went from letter of recommendation, letter of intent, filling this out, looking for jobs on his own, actually applying, keeping everything intact through EdJoin, going through the interview process, showing up. I mean, watching him progress was amazing. And when he got the job and I got that text, I wanted to cry. It was like, oh my gosh, this is his first job in education. Like, this is a big deal. So to watch him start from the beginning to really progress into that was definitely a high. Even in my career, I was so proud of him. I told my family, I told colleagues. It was really, it's like, okay, now at least he'll know if this is something that he wants to pursue, or at least he'll have some kind of an experience in education. And I think the low, again, is related to, I haven't seen him in person, and it would be great to get him in the classroom and meet other teachers and see different styles of teaching. I think that might help or make some kind of a difference, possibly. So, yeah.
Well, I do hope that Isaac pursue a teaching career, because we really need people in math, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He can tell you that. We have a huge shortage in math and a huge shortage of teachers in general, especially with the pandemic going on too. So I do hope that you become a teacher, Isaac, and you never lose touch with us, because we would like to hear about your success, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why we have this mentorship, is because of the relationships that you can actually develop also with your mentor and vice versa, right? So never, never forget us, even if you're somewhere else already, and let us know about your progress. And I'm sure you will definitely keep in touch. Keep in touch with Jackie.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I mean, up till now, I still want to be a math teacher. Been wanting to be one since high school, and yeah, I do hope that I continue to go down that path. And I mean, if the program's still going, which I hope it is, when I become a math teacher, then yeah, I'll definitely try to contact back and see how everything's going.
Not
you'll
only
be our
that,
mentor.
but now yes, I was just going to say, and now that you'll be a mentor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Full
Yes.
circle, right?
Yes.
Okay, for our last question, what strategies would you like to share with other mentors and other students in order to be successful in this program? So we'll start with Jackie, and then we'll have Isaac share.
I think the number of resources is important. So the more you vary the resources that you use, and like I said, that can vary from a podcast to one of my own presentations to an interview of a teacher. The more you bring, the more wealth it is, the more they have to choose from, the more of this lens on society that they can use and really integrate into their own teaching. They get to choose from a variety of things. And so I really, really believe in strong resources, and not only the resources are strong, but they're also current and based on social justice. So that is really important in today's world, that basis of it.
Thank you, Jackie. And how about you, Isaac?
Yeah, the resources definitely one of them that are important. I mean, again, like I said earlier, every time I hopped into a meeting, I didn't feel like it was repetitive. I felt like I was learning something new every time. So it definitely kept it fresh. Also setting little goals. Like I remember every week, it's like, even though they were small goals, it like because of all the hours, it eventually accumulated, and that's how I was. Like I remember from one week to another, she didn't tell me to like finish my resume. It was more like, okay, we could get this done. And even in the meeting, we would revise over my resume for a little bit. So yeah, definitely setting up like little goals and like keeping a meeting fresh with new resources could definitely help out a lot.
Thank you so much. And remember that even if you don't pursue teaching, a lot of the things that you learn from this mentorship program, you can use, anywhere else. So it's a win-win situation. So with that, I would like to thank both of you for this interview and for sharing your experiences. So thank you so much, and we hope to see you in fall semester. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.